What's going on, Falcon fan? This is your boy Ricondo coming back at you with another video. Quick reaction of today's game against the Los Angeles Rams and the Atlanta Falcons. And of course, you guys, I had the Falcons actually not winning this game today. And of course, if you look at the outcome, that's what happened. However, I can actually say I believe that the Atlanta Falcons did fight to the end. It is some things definitely that the Atlanta Falcons really need to work on. In particular, execution on offense. I think a lot of things on offense is not working as it should. One thing in particular for me is the fact that Kyle Pitts is still not involved in the offense. I really don't understand. 2 games now, Kyle Pitts is not being targeted. I think you definitely got to utilize your weapons. Um, and Kyle Pitts right now, to me, that's really the story on offense in the last 2 games is the fact that Kyle Pitts is not being targeted the way he should be. Um, we just got to do better from that standpoint. Again, Kyle Pitts involved in the game. From a defensive standpoint, I felt like whatever defensive game plan they had, it did not work. Um, we never really stopped the Rams. I think they stopped themselves for the most part. We did make some crucial turnovers, which would really kept us in the game. The interceptions by Michael Walker and Casey Haywood definitely was big for us. The block punt was definitely big for us as well. But overall, I think from a defensive standpoint, we was not able to get pressure on the quarterback. They only had 65 yards rushing, so it looked like they was running the ball as well. But I think the fact that they could just pass the ball, I think we did more zone this week than putting pressure on Matthew Stafford because I don't think we was able to get there. I don't think we had any sacks from a defensive standpoint. But if you're looking on the bright side of things, the Falcons was able to fight the entire game. And if you want to look at a silver lining, that's what you want to see. A team that I said one of the things that I definitely want to see from this season, and these guys go out and compete week in and week out. I did think they competed week in and week out. But the really big issue for me, um, like I said, from an offensive standpoint, we got to start, getting Kyle Pitts involved in the game. I mean, you have to scheme him open. What's good? What's going on, Hank? You have to start the scheme Kyle Pitts open. I mean, of course they're gonna double him. He's a weapon, but he kind of have more than 3 targets. They did take one shot. I know I said last week if you just take a shot on Kyle Pitts, they did take one shot down the field with him, but Kyle Pitts has to be more involved in the game plan. You have to scheme him open. Maybe Drake London is the one who's benefiting from it the most. I've been really impressed with Drake London, but I think both of those guys should be able to be utilized. And if you able to do that, I think this offense will be better off. I mean, also what I didn't understand was in the fourth quarter, the operation was still going slow. We was down 3 scores, and we instead of going to hurry up, it seemed like they was running a normal offense. Yes, they wasn't huddling, but at the same time, it seemed slow, and a lot of time was running off the clock. Seemed like at that point we had gave up. I understand the mindset. You don't want to just start passing and passing, and they'll tee off on your quarterback, but at the same time, I thought the operations could have been a whole lot faster than it was, which it wasn't. So I didn't like that. So overall, it was a lot of things that I was not really impressed by in this game with the Atlanta Falcons from a game plan standpoint. I thought the players um, did the best they could with the game plan. Like I said, from a defense standpoint, was not able to get any pressure. Um, we let them throw everything underneath. However, we never came up and made tackles to stop him from getting yak yards. Um, it was just so much. Um, Hank Deasy said we need a real quarterback. I keep seeing that, and I'm gonna might maybe have to start agreeing with everybody. I thought it was too early to give a look at Desmond Ritter, but we need a passer. We need a precision passer because if my point is, if you're gonna draft Kyle Pitts number 4 overall, right? Then you draft Drake London number 8 overall. Those are two weapons that you can utilize in the pass game. I understand you want to run and be balanced, but when you got weapons like that, so Hank, I agree with you. We got to start passing the ball. And at this point, I'm not understanding why Kyle Pitts not involved in the game plan. That's just the way I see it. Um, Mariota's not real quarterback one. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I think, I mean, he didn't play terrible, but when it comes to throwing the ball, like I said, for me, you got Kyle Pitts, number 4 overall pick, and you have Drake London. I mean, Drake London looks great. I mean, let's like I said, we're gonna look at take some positives from this game. Drake London looked great, and he looked like um he don't look like a rookie. He looked like he's polished already, and he still has a lot to learn. So, I mean, just giving him more opportunities, and along with Kyle Pitts, I mean, I just don't understand. I'm trying to figure out a better way to say it. If you don't think Desmond is ready, I mean, what you got to lose at this point? I mean, we got to be able to pass the ball a little bit more. I know I said last week. I love the way that Marcus Mariota, utilized his feet and run the game and things like that. But at this point, if you're not going to use one of your main weapons and utilize him to get him the ball, and that's Kyle Pitts, I think you're just wasting it. I think you're just wasting that talent, not being able to get Kyle Pitts to rock. Right. I mean, they only rushed 3 guys on that Hail Mary. They only rushed 3. You got to be able to get back there, and you got to be able to at least throw the ball up in the air. But I just yep, he ran into a couple of sacks because he stayed in the pocket, and that's one thing the knock on running quarterbacks a lot, right? If you're a passer first and a runner second, I think you'll stay in the pocket longer, right? That's why guys like Patrick Mahomes, I mean, he's mobile enough to get out, but he's a passer first, right? Desmond Ritter is a passer first. That's what he's going to try to do. He's going to try to come out and he's going to try to pass the ball down the field to his weapons because he know those guys can make the plays that need to be made. Um, I'm just like I said, if you're not going to utilize Kyle Pitts, why is he there? Um, 3 targets. I mean, he's a mismatch on the field, and they took one shot with him. And then if you looked at that play, the Mariota threw the interception, which was a great play by Jalen Ramsey. I'm not taking nothing away from Jalen Ramsey, but Kyle Pitts was open on the sideline. Go back and look at it. He was open. And if you're gonna give somebody a chance, give your 6'6", number 4 overall pick a chance to throw the ball. So Richard Jim said, guys, it's not Mario the fault totally. There were formation calls and needs to be called versus different defense in the second half. I'm not saying that his fault totally. I'm not, like I said, for the most part, I'm not like really blaming it totally on Mariota. But I mean, if you hear his press conference, the Coach Smith press conference, he's saying that um they doubled him. Everybody else, no, you got to be able to scheme your weapons open. When you need a big play, and I know most coaches like we're going to call this play because we want our big play guy to make the play, and that's not what I seen. So I mean, he had three little measly catches that really didn't mean anything. Only meaningful play that Kyle Pitts had to me was when he drew the pass interference down the field. Um, and then we came away with nothing on that drive as well because remember it was a turnover. So I mean I'm not blaming on him totally, but you got to be able to get him more involved in the game plan. Yeah, I could tell you that one drive where the ball was height and hit the guy moving in motion. Then I mean it looked terrible. That whole little sequence. We looked out of sync. Like I said, I know they got a game plan they're trying to execute, but maybe because he haven't played in a while, he bobbled a snap, he got it, and made a play. He fell, made a play. I mean, like I said, he's an athlete, so he making the plays that he's going to make. But at the same time, um, he missed a lot of plays out there as well. So said Mariota threw away the game, doesn't utilize his best weapon Pitts, need more targets. One against Pitts. That's what I've been saying since Wendell. I've been saying that since I got on the air. Um, like I said, I'm just trying to figure out three, three, three targets. I mean, you saw what they was able to do when you just put them out on the outside against a corner. I mean, take more shots like that. I mean, that's all I'm saying. Just take more shots like that. Put them on the outside. Um, that's all. That I just at this point in time, we're gonna. I know it's just the second game of the season, but if it keeps going in this direction where Kyle Pitts is not getting utilized, people gonna start wondering. And Arthur Smith keep making excuses and saying that he's gonna, be a part of the offense, but he has to be the first read. I mean, I don't understand when you call a play and Kyle Pitts is not your first read on the play. I don't understand that. Bruce said he does not trust the quarterback. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. From what I've seen, and I know you guys, I know it's just preseason, but I think Desmond Ritter is more confident in his arm than Marcus Mariota. That's just what I've seen. On Veterans Year, Hank Deasy, you're somewhat right, but Mariota has not really played for 2 years. He's still trying to get the rest off. Patience is the key. He played the Saints and the Rams in the first. Like I said, virtual is 100% correct. Like it's just 2 games, right? So and the Rams defense it's pretty solid, with the guys they got. And of course we played the Saints in the first. So and we was able to put up points on both of those teams. But from an execution standpoint, um, we just missing something. We just missing something. And it could because like you said, he ain't played in 2 years. Got to give him time to get into it. But by the time we get into it, we'll be out of it. So um, I mean that's what it is. Hank said he's totally blaming Mariota. I'm not totally blaming him. Not totally. Like I said, I mean, so you don't get a defense, no blame. I mean, the defense didn't play well. All right, let's be honest. They had one punt. The one punt they had got blocked, right? I mean, so I mean, you have to give the defense some blame. It's yeah, we couldn't get the Hail Mary off, right? I agree with you 100% on that as well. But I mean, he could have stepped up in the pocket. Maybe he could have had a chance, but he ran to the right and ran right into the pressure. So yeah, it's not Mariota's fault. To me, I think it's the game plan fault. And Bridget, you saying people blame Mariota? I'm not blaming Mariota. I think the game plan. And what I mean by that is you have a guy that you drafted number 4 overall, and when the coach calls a play, when you he has to be your first read on a lot of your plays, on your lot of passing plays. So if he's the first read on most of your passing play, he's going to get targets. But having 3 targets looks like he's not implementing him into the game plan. That's just what I see. I mean, you can't tell me every time they pass the ball, and if you calling a play for him, he's not open. He's getting doubled every time. Like I said, you got to be able to scheme him open. Like I said, he's number 4 overall pick. He's that electric. You got to be able to give him the ball, get the balls in the hand. Got to be able to give him to him on the run, down the field, let him make plays. And right now, that's not what we're seeing. Yeah, that play did change the game. When that play, man, that got me up off my feet. But at the same time, even when we got the punch out on the fumble, I still felt like we probably wasn't gonna win the game because the things been happening to us in the red zone. And I still think we haven't figured it out yet in the red zone. For some reason, I just had a sneaky suspicion that we was going to mess it up. So they said the O line allowed 1 sack in the last 2 games. Yep, the O line playing well. Like it is bright spots in this team, right? I think it's not doom and gloom like everybody trying to make it out to be. It's not doom and gloom. I think this team is very competitive. It has played well throughout the first 2 games for the most part. I think the mistakes and the miscues is really the biggest things that have been hurting us. I mean, like the first drive of the game, if we can come away with 3 points there, I think that would help with the momentum right there. If we would have came away with those 3 points in the first drive, right? Um, Taking advantage of the interception that Casey Hayward had going into halftime, right? If we could have took advantage of that, Cordell Patterson tipped off his helmet, pick, run it back to the 1 yard line. Um, those are kind of miscues that we cannot have, guys. Those are things that kill us, especially a team that's trying to win, and those things compounded in the first half, or in the game, and then it took us too much to come back. The good thing, like I said, the good thing for us is that we stayed competitive throughout. We tried to hold our own, and we did our thing. See here. Marshall's a better quarterback, but I can't see he doesn't have quarterback one skills. Can't make third downs. Red zone is a joke. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, the red zone. You see, we were 50% in the red zone today. 3 for 10 on third down. We have to get better in those statistics. Those are situational football that make you lose games, guys. Those are the things that make you lose. Um, I mean, but you say you're shocked. I mean, they only had 65 yards rushing, so they didn't run it that well. I mean, the passing game record so well, they didn't have to run it that much. Defense closed 28. Yes, they did. Of course, everybody got to laugh at that score. Pretty sure, Bridget, the defense didn't get any stops. Really, no three and outs. You can't. No, and that's the point I'm making. So you can't blame the whole game on Marcus Mariota when the defense was on the field pretty much the whole game. I mean, this is one of the weirdest games I've seen because it was only 2 points in the 2 punts in the whole game. One by the Falcons and one by the Rams. And that's one of the weirdest games I've seen. It was that many turnover, that many miscues and things like that. But um, it was one of the weirdest games. But our defense couldn't hold up. I mean, they let them drive the ball down the field for the most part the whole game. They made some key stops. They had some key turnovers. They fought the whole way, but they never really made the plays to keep us in the game in the first half. Yeah, we got to get TDs. Mark said that we have to get TDs. The red zone, like I said, it, football is simple, really. When you think about things like what you guys talking about, third down, red zones, turnovers, right? Those things. If you looking at the box score and you see that you're good in on red zone percentage, you're good on third down, you scoring touchdowns, you're not turning the ball over. Most of the time, you're going to win games. So, I mean, we could look at the execution of the game plans like that, but if you look at the box score and you see things like that, that can kind of tell you what happened in the game. You look at your third down percentage on defense and on offense, and then your red zone on defense and offense, like I said. Then if you win the turnover battle, we won the turnover battle again today and still lost the game. So because we couldn't execute on third down and on defense. I mean, in the red zone on both sides of the ball. That's what it really boils down to. Yeah, I'm not looking for. I agree with this. Looking for scapegoats. There are no truly evaluation. Each player, coaching scheme, we have to know that the growth is the focus of the year. I agree. I mean, they played a lot of the young guys today. Darren Hall made a big play on that peanuts punch from on Cooper Cup. That was a great play by him. Of course, the play by Anderson. That was a big play. D'Angelo Malone got some. Katie got some play. Um, Drake London still looking like, I think my prediction of him being the offensive rookie of the year. Still think that's the way it's looking now. He's in the league for that. Um, so we have to look at the positives, especially, and let's keep in mind, I'm not one of the guys that thought the Falcon wasn't going to do anything this year. I thought we was going to be competitive, we was going to compete, but we are in a transition period where we want to see the growth of this team throughout the season. So it's not time to give it up. I mean, if you go look at some of these other teams that had so many high hopes to be competitive and play in the playoffs this year, look at that, look how they're playing. So um Falcons were supposed to be a dead and out team. We don't supposed to be doing anything, and we compete in day week in and week out. That's what we're doing. We got to look at the positive, look at the growth, like Virtual said here. But I mean, we still can be critical, right? Because we want our team to play well every week. So you have to look. You got to be look at the positive and the negatives, and you got to call out the negatives when you see it. So I ain't gonna. I'm gonna admit it, Bridget. I'm freaking out about Kyle Pitts. I ain't gonna lie, because I just don't understand. I mean, to me, if Kyle Pitts is more involved in game one and game two, I think both of those would be a win. So I am freaking out by Kyle Pitts. I think they got to get Kyle Pitts more involved in the game. That's just me. So I'm that guy that freaking out about he's not getting enough touches. Like we got to give him a chance. We're gonna see. That's what it seems like on the film. I mean, but you have to admit, Hank, that he made some great throws today as well. So, like I said, you can look at all the negative stuff and all the bad things that Marcus Mariota didn't do, but he made some good plays today as well. I mean, he brought us back in the game. I mean, he had two touchdowns, um, 2 point conversion. So he did some good things as well. Um, so I mean, it's gonna happen. I mean, Matthew Stafford had turnovers. He had two interceptions today. But he did things to get his team to win. It's a team sport, so we can't put everything on Marcus Mariota. So you miss Matt Ryan. You know Matt Ryan got sacked 7 times today. Trust me, I heard it from other people that's telling me they glad he's not here because he's not mobile. But he got sacked 7 times today. Um, and I'm be honest with you, if Matt Ryan was here, I mean we looking at the progression of the offensive line, but maybe the offensive line is not good as we think because we have a mobile quarterback that can get out of trouble and make plays and things like that. So we really don't know. I like the fact that our offensive line is playing well, but at the same time, we really don't know if Matt Ryan was there sitting in that pocket. You right. I do agree that he probably make some great throws for us, but um, would it be to the point where you know we're not taking sacks and things like that? So because trust me, defense is called different because we do have a mobile quarterback. Ain't these part of the reason the O lines look? He just took it. He just took it. He just took it. I just said that, but virtual right. The reason they look good because we got a mobile quarterback. Yes, that's 100% the reason why. So just like I said, yeah, he got it was actually 7 times, Bridget, like 7 times today. So yeah, he looked pretty bad. Those guys look bad. And remember, those guys were supposed to go to the playoffs this year, right? So they look bad right now. Hank said the defense looked good. I wouldn't go that far as saying they look good. They fought. The defense fought, but they didn't look good. I mean, they gave up a lot of plays today. I mean, Cooper Rush had 108 receptions for 2 touchdowns, and AJ Terrell keep getting beat in the end zone. I mean, it's some things, guys. We have to take take it is like I said. You have to look at it the way it looks, how things is happening. But I won't say 100% the defense looked good. Yeah, we got to get better in the red zone. Um, and what's interesting about this whole thing about the red zone is the fact that Arthur Smith, his first 2 seasons, with the Tennessee Titans, he was first and second 2 years in a row in red zone percentages. So I mean, he's not he has the ability to call the right plays because he did it for 2 seasons in a row. I mean, the Tennessee Titans was first and second in the red zone, and I know they had Derrick Henry, but they also had Ryan Tannehill, who's not one of the great quarterbacks in this league. So, I think he has the ability to call the right plays. We just got to execute the plays. I mean, that's really boils down to me from a defensive standpoint. Bridget, right? The defense did look good. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he was looking at. I thought actually, man, I thought they was finna put a 40 burger on us for real. I thought they was gonna score like 40 points the way they do. The way their offense just going up and down the field. Like I said, those turnovers helped us out. So they fought. They made key plays, key stops. One of the key plays I think when they hold them down in the red zone to a field goal and made it 31. I thought that was big for us, but it made it 31-10, I think. But the defense did not look good. I agree with you, Bridget. He said it was not about the rushing stats. It was when how they run. They was running. The Rams is a pass first team, but they were running the game in the first part. Yeah, I mean Sean McVay, he's trying to establish the run. And what I mean by the stats, when I say 65 yards, I still think he was not able to establish the running game like he wanted to. Yes, he ran it effectively enough to to make the defense think about it and utilize the pass. But um, if you go back and look at Sean McVay, he wants to run the ball more than that. So that's what I mean by the stat 65 yards. I do think that they ran it effective enough to make the defense think about the run. But for the most part, in my opinion, I thought they beat us in the air, not on the ground. We did do better versus the run in the fourth quarter. Yes, we did. When we and the big key about that, they was trying to run the ball during that time because they was trying to utilize the clock. So knowing that we was able to stop that. But like I said, I think where they killed us in the air anyway. So um but we was able to stop the run to get the ball back to our offense on a couple of drives in that fourth quarter. Yeah, the Braves look good. They swept the Phillies and the Dogs. The Dogs, man, I'm still trying to figure out if the Dogs that good or these teams they playing just that bad. So that's very interesting. Yep, the Bengals are 0-2. Are they having a Super Bowl hangover? Or are they that bad? Bridget said the Raiders are 0-2. Exactly. The Raiders are 0-2 as well. The Colts 0-1-1. Exactly. I'm not making excuses. You're right. Yep. The Panthers are 0-2. Nobody care about the Panthers. Hey guys, guess what? James Winston threw 3 picks today. I like that. He threw 3 picks today. Honestly, I wish both of those teams would have lost. The Bucks and the Aints would have lost today, but I knew somebody had to win. I was watching it when the fight broke out on the field. I wish they all would have got thrown out the game. They had to forfeit the game altogether. But yeah, James Winston, he's back to his old ways. He threw 3 interceptions today. Bruce Taylor said that the Bengals O line are trash. Well, they supposed to revamp their whole offensive line this offseason. So I don't know why um they O line so bad. They were supposed to revamp that. Berger say Kyle Pitts will be all right. I agree they could throw the ball more than him in the red zone if the formation is set, manipulate the defense. It will come. It's London time right now. Hey, I'm not hating that London's getting, looking good. I'm not hating on that because somebody's got to eat. I just think if you get both of those guys going, this offense will really be good. That's the what I want to see. So I think you can go London on one play, Pitts on a one play. Mix Alumde kids in there here and there. Cardell Hodge looked good today as well. So I mean, all these guys that we seen, um, they made play. I just think that if you got Kyle Pitts, and if you're not going to utilize him, he's a weapon. That's what I'm saying. You got to utilize Kyle Pitts, man. Um, Bridger say I think Kyle Pitts will get his time right now. Drake's going to be because he's a rookie. He's earned respect of other teams, and Pitts. That's what I'm saying. Pitts and Drake will be great. That's what I want to see. That's all. What I'm saying is I want to see both of those guys eat. If we can do that, um, and then we can utilize our running game. I thought Tyler Algier, the couple of runs he had looked it well. I thought they keyed in on Cordell Patterson. We do got to remember that these guys did have 10 days to prepare for us, so they had a couple more days to get down and figure out how they want to beat us and how they want to scheme us up. So I'm gonna take that as well as the reason why they were so prepared in that first half. After we made somewhat some little adjustments, because you got to remember it was it was 28-3, and they only scored 3 more points. So um, we was able to start to make some adjustments, and we was able to stop them on some plays. Like I said, a lot of it were turnovers. They was moving the ball up and down the field, but we did make some key stops, and they did have 10 days to prepare for us. So you got to look for a silver lining somewhere. It's time for Matt Ryan to go. Yeah, he looked pretty old, man. Like honestly, in my opinion, he looked worse in the Colts behind the Colts offensive line than he looked behind our offensive line. Because I watched that game earlier. He looked it slow. Um, I do know some of his receivers out. Some of his two of his top receivers are out, but um, yeah, he looked it slow. They threw a couple interceptions himself. I think he threw 3 interceptions today as well. So he said Matt Ryan got sacked 7 times. Would be and he was playing. Yep, I agree. I really believe that if he was playing behind the offensive line, I mean, I think I like the way our offensive line playing, but I just think because Mariota's so mobile, he can move outside the pocket. It gives us a better chance. But I can tell you this: I was looking out on social media, and a lot of people are already calling for Desmond Ritter to see what he's able to do because of the way he passed the ball, right? So I think if we keep going down this trajectory, we losing. Eventually, um, everybody gonna start calling to see what Desmond Ritter can do for us. What we got here. I agree. Me either. Me either. Even but when we got the ball back on the fumble, I thought maybe we had hope. But I'm be honest with you, I thought we was going to score and take the 1 point lead, and then we was going to give up the field goal. And they was going to win it anyway. That's really what I thought was going to happen. So I really thought we was going to actually score, and then we was going to get the 1 point lead, and then they was going to drive down the field and and get get the field goal and beat us by 2 like last week. So that's what I thought. To be honest with you, but that never happened because we threw a pick. Um, the mobile quarterback might be making the O line look better. Colts O line was supposed to be good last week. Yeah, I agree. I agree. The Colts. I mean, and right now because Matt Ryan, Jonathan Taylor's not even looking good either. So those guys probably turn around. A lot of people look at because a lot of these guys do not play in the preseason. These first 2 games, the first game of the season, first quarter of the season, is really trying to feel yourself out and see what kind of team you're going to be. What you want to do is try to win some of these games though, because if you get dig yourself in too much in the hole, then you can't recover from it. That extra 17 game, I think, is going to help a lot of teams, but um, a lot of teams probably trying to feel themselves out. I think the coach going to get better. We just have to see, or maybe they're just going to suck. I mean, maybe the Bengals going to be bad. Maybe the Raiders, it's not never going to actually, do anything. So those are things we got to look at and see what teams get better. I know from what I've seen from the first 2 weeks, the Falcons not the worst team in the league. So I can't say that honestly. Mike James say he put both losses on Coach Smith. Um, I mean, you can it always on the coach at the end of the day, right? He the leader of the team, so you can put it on him. Um, but players do have to execute. All right, these guys go out. They have to make their plays. So long as these guys got to go out and execute, guys. I mean, you can put it on the coaches. At the end of the day, it's his fault. He's the one to get fired, right? They never turn it around and things like that, just like Dan Quinn. But these guys got to start executing, right? So, I mean, some of the plays, if you if you go back and look at the game and see what guys open, see guys, didn't have the right read on defense and things like that. Because the coaches wasn't out there. The players was out there making the plays. They didn't execute the plays. So, but at the end of the day, he the head coach, so he's gonna take all the blame regardless. Yeah, it was actually a different, right? Like it looked like because last week They played good in the first half and the third quarter, and then they let it go in the fourth quarter. This week they actually played better, played bad in the first half, third quarter, and turned it up in the fourth quarter. So hey, if we can just put it all together in one game, I think we'll have a real good game, and where we all come on here after a game and be happy about what we've seen from the team, right? Yeah, they had the best running back in NFL on the Titans. We don't have that. Yep, that is true. But at the same time, I mean, they trying to stop the run, right? I mean, we got I think we got better weapons than they had with the Titans. So I think he should be able to call up some plays. I mean, if he can't be, he don't have to be first and second. Maybe he could be in the top 10 or at least in the red zone. I was waiting to see if a Saint was actually going to show up. A Saints fan was going to show up in the screen day. Jameis Winston back to his old ways. Y'all lost too. Y'all lost too. So I'm glad you showed up, Sky. Y'all lost too. Yank said they look good. I mean, they started nervous, they played tense, but then they calmed down and made some good plays. Yeah, I mean it's 60 minutes, right? We talk about the 60 minutes in the game, the Falcons blowing the lead, right? But they played the whole game this time. They gave themselves a chance to win. The last 2 weeks, we can't say this about Atlanta Falcons. We had a chance to actually win both of those games. Y'all, are you really gonna be okay? I think Jamie's starting his turnover run started this week. So I heard the stats that Jamie Winston on threw 3 picks, 12 different games. That's amazing, man. 3 picks, 12 different games. They say Caleb McGarry is looking good. Yes, he is. Like I said, I have no complaints about the offensive line so far. Aaron Donald, how many sacks Aaron Donald get today? So I mean, you just gotta look at the offensive line's been playing well. I think they've been playing lights out. So um, we're just not executing what when we need to execute. That's what it boils down to. Dominant. Yep. Yeah, that was a bad snap on that play. Um, like I said, man, some of the miscues that we make, it seemed like we still in preseason a little bit, trying to get our mechanics down, our game plan down, things like that. We just can't lose so many games before we get it together. Bruce Taylor said, "No Saints, all thug out, and it's hard to root for them. The DB always fighting because they can't play both players at least one game in the fight. Very yeah, that was bad. That was bad. And honestly, I really believe that was a pass interference on Marcus Lattimore anyway. But that's what he do, man. They let him get away with that because that's how he play. Let's just be honest with you. That's how he play. I don't know if they throw anybody because I ain't see no punches thrown. So maybe they probably just got kicked out the game. I think that's it. Yeah, it seemed like their timing was down because if you look at it, the way um the way the motion was going, like he was hiking the ball like right before or right after the motion. It looked scary after that first mishap. I thought they was going to do it again and hit the guy that was going in motion. I think we're going to run through Seattle. I hope so. I hope so. From what I seen the first 2 weeks in Seattle and for what I seen the first 2 weeks in the Atlanta Falcons, I think we're a better team. They do have that home field advantage up there. That crowd is going to be loud for them in Seattle. We just can't make mistakes. If we go to Seattle and don't make mistakes, I think we'll win that game. I agree with you. Marco missing high on most. Yeah, he missed a couple high on throws, man. I'm telling you, he's not helping. He's not helping the chatter in the background about Desmond Ritter on some of the things that he do. But I don't think he been playing that bad. And sounds like Arthur Smith still sticking with him right now. He likes the way he's playing. So we'll just have to see how that goes. Don't get it twisted. I do think Ritter is going to be a stud. I just don't want him to play now. I feel Marcus Mario is a better answer. It's nothing like having experience. Right. I don't like I said, I don't think Desmond is ready either. Right. But at the end of the day, if let's just say if the Falcons keep going down this road where they're losing games and it's the same type of way, miscues, mistakes and things like that. Um, let's say week 6 and Kyle Pitt still averaging 3 targets a game. That's not going to be good for Arthur Smith. He's going to have to do something. So I disagree. Give a young quarterback reps now. No reason to sit him on a team that won't win anyway. But how you know they won't win? We only 0-2. Let's see what happens. Let's let at least get to 0-5, right? Before you just start to make that decision. So um, everybody wants Marcus Mariota out, but we'll just have to see what he have to do. My buddy here, Brandon. Brandon, what's up, Brandon? Got to at least throw the ball in the end zone on that last play. Marcus Mariota had time at least to throw the ball in the end zone. What's the worst that can happen? Exactly. You got to throw it up. I agree with you 100%. You got to at least get that Hail Mary off and give your guys a chance. Like I said, if you look at the interception he threw, it wasn't really a bad throw. Jalen Ramsey just got up over Brian Edwards, and now I see why Brian Edwards was traded because he ain't made no plays since he been with the Falcons. So I mean, because at least if anything, don't let the guy intercept the ball. He was right there, but he got up higher than Brian Edwards on that play and make the pick. So I mean, to me, I thought that because he had him for the catch. Jalen Ramsey just got up higher on that. If you go back and look at the play, but also if you look at that play, Kyle Pitts was running down the side, and I think that's where you should have went with the ball instead of Brian Edwards. Mike James, I agree with you that Coach Smith, but this is the second year as a head coach. If there is any improvement each week, the adjustment, that's all you can ask for from now. That's fair what you said. Hey, like I said, for me, Arthur Smith, second year as a coach. Um, I mean, you can't tell me you can't criticize a coach um each week about something that they made a mistake on, right? I mean, I think for us as Falcon fans, we want instant gratification. We want everybody to play well. We want everything to happen. And to be honest with you guys, most of you guys didn't think the Falcons were going to do anything anyway this year. But all of a sudden now, you guys starting to, because we in every game we got a chance to win. I feel the same way. We have a chance to win, but he's not going to make the right call on every situation, right? Let's just be on. People make mistakes. Go with your guts. Like I said, I like coaches that's confident and they make the calls they make. And if you make enough of them, and if it never works, then you might be a bad coach. But he made some good calls on some of these plays. And some just didn't go the way we like. So um, I think blaming everything on the coach is kind of just easy target, just like blaming everything on Marcus Mariota. And it's already starting again. Like everybody blame everything on Matt Ryan when he was here. So I mean, we always got to find a scapegoat. We always got to look at one person and think if this one person plays better, we'll win. You can look at each play in the game and pick a player out and say if he would have did this or this person would have did this, the outcome would be different. But So you can't just blame everything on one person, the coach, the quarterback. Um, it's a lot of plays that was missed out there, but it was a lot of good plays as well. So we got to look at the both sides. Saints fan showing up talking. I know they still gonna live off that week one win that they got, that lucky win they got because we gave the game away. I love the Falcons. Been watching 40 years. We have to watch with the games every Sunday and something off with the franchise. We're just different and not in a good way. Yeah, man. Being a Falcon fan, I'll be honest with you guys. Being a Falcon fan is not easy. It's really not easy. I mean, we always a joke. We always everybody's always, and we're not even the worst franchise in NFL, right? If you go back and look at how many Super Bowls we don't been to compared to some of the other teams out there, um, but we just our fan base different too. So it's just different all the way around for the Atlanta Falcons. But if you're a real Falcon fan, um, like me, you're gonna be here and go down with the ship, man. That's what all I can say. We're not beating the Seahawks in Seattle. I don't know, Bruce. We have to see. I'm not. I'm not at this point because, guys, I'll go out and say it. I picked the Falcons to go 10-7. We already lost one of the games that I picked. We lost against the Aints, so I picked us to beat Seattle. So hopefully we can go up there and put a whole game together for 60 minutes and see what happens. Drake London is the man. I agree. He's a real deal, man. Like right now, um, that's one thing Terry Funson and Arthur Smith got right. Picking Drake London. That kid can play. And he has the it factor too. He wants it. And he make plays, and everybody talking about his speed and stuff like that. He's just a great young player. So I like Drake London. I don't think we're going to run through Seattle. Home field advantage is no joke. They played Denver, so they're looking for hungry. Yeah, but they're. I mean, do you really trust their quarterback? Like this is not one. This is not the Rams defense. This is not the Rams offense. This is not the Saints. Um, we should be able to go up and do something against this team. I just really believe that. So I'm gonna I'm gonna believe in our Falcons next week. I'm picking us to win that game, hands down. Mark Smart acts like a rookie and does not see the field, but that's who Marcus Mario. He never really been a dynamic, precision passer, guys. Let's be honest with you. Um, and most of those guys that utilize their leg, they like to get out the pocket. Um, but you got to, I think you got to call plays to get your weapons open. Like I said, I haven't seen that the first 2 weeks for Kyle Pitts. Drake London been getting a lot of plays, but for Kyle Pitts, I haven't seen it. So maybe they'll scheme up something to start getting him more involved in the game. What we beat in Seattle, we too much for them. That's the way I feel too. I mean, our running game, like we got a hard schedule, guys. The Aints, and then we played the Rams. Those pretty two tough teams, right? And then we got Seattle, which is a little break for us. We got the Browns without with Jacoby Brissett. So I think we can win our next two games. That's just my opinion. I think we can win our next two games. Virtual said, "Be patient. Atlanta is ridiculous. Instant result city. Football don't work like that." Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, and that's how Atlanta fans are. The fair weather. I guarantee you, if we was to go on let's just say we go on a 6 game winning streak. Um, that the stadium be packed, everybody be talking junk, that's everybody be hyped up. Then we lose a couple of games, everybody be like the Falcons suck. Can't stand the Falcons. Yeah, you said Ramsey wanted it more. He did. I agree. He went up and got that ball, man. He, like I said, to me, Marcus put it in a good spot. Jalen wanted it more. I agree with you 100% on that, Bruce. Yeah, I'm be honest with you, man. That's one thing I talked about when I first came on was the 2 minute offense. I felt like they wasn't running a 2 minute offense. It took too long to get into plays. It was checking in and out. You got to go. You got to go. The clock was running. I didn't like. I think they was taking too much time on the clock. I don't know how you guys felt about that, but I felt like they had just gave up. Like he was just practicing. Like let's just get a play. Just get a play. But I think they were using too much time on 2 minute offense. 2 minute offense, you got to go. And I thought he just couldn't get it done on that. Brandon said just missed Edwards high and Ramsey made the play. And I don't think he missed it. I think Ramsey got up. If you go look how high Jalen Ramsey got up on that play. He got him high, but Edward could have had a chance to make that pass, make that play. That's what I think. Um, we scored 53 points as an offense in the first 2 weeks. That's damn good on all three phases. The game, we're like I said, I like Blizzard Mike. I like your optimism, man. That's like I said, you have to take some goods from this, right? Like we have to look at it. We played the Aints and the Rams in the first 2 weeks. Two teams that were supposed to be Super Bowl favorites going into the NFC Championship game before the season started. That's what everybody want to say about these two teams, right? And we play both of these teams close, both games. That's one thing you take positive from. Like you said, we put up 53 points and we left so much out there on the field that we can grow on and get better. I think a lot of the mistakes were our mistakes. It wasn't because what they did. You talk about interceptions. You talk about the miscues with the handling the ball, the interception, things like that. Things that we could fix, from our own miscues. If you look at all that, look at it like you said, scored 53 points. We need to work on red zone. We need to work on third down. We need to make sure we keep pressure on the quarterback, things like that. All the things that I think we can get better in. So looking at the positives, that's what we can take away from this game. The losses, the losses that we take, they suck, especially for fans. But we got to look at the positives. Yeah, Drake is the real deal, man. He's a good receiver. Again, the same results. Be patient. I'm gonna take a book from virtual there. Got to be patient. Don't give up yet. Put it like this. And put it like this. If you're a Falcon fan today, if you're a Falcon fan today, what do you have to lose? After all the things that the Falcons have done to you over the years. I mean, think about it. All the things that the Falcons done for you over the years, and you still a Falcon fan today. Give them a chance, guys. Be patient. Yep, we got fight in this. I agree with that 100%, Lacey. I mean, I think any other year, to your point, going down 31-10, we would have gave up in that game. But these guys fought to the end, and 2 minutes left in the game, down by six at their 20-yard line. We had a chance to win that game. That's the way you look at it. Um, the outcome was the outcome, whatever happened. But being down 31-10, and with 2 minutes left in the game at their 20-yard line, 6 point deficit. That's what you can take away from it. Yeah, he might he might get 1,000 yard. I wish that Kyle Pitts can get 1,000 yards, man. He's starting off real slow, and I hate to say it, guys. It's because Marcus Mariota is not a passer. It's just not. That's why. So Kyle numbers might be down this year, and it's not going to be his fault. It's because the quarterback just not that type of quarterback. So um, we just have to see. Bertrand said, "I said we will pull out this Seattle game." I said it's not going to be easy. Oh yeah, I agree. I don't think like you said it, man. Those 12 Sun series, man. That fan base is ridiculous. Those guys can be fired up because of the fans. It's gonna be loud. It wasn't that loud in Los Angeles today, but trust me, it's gonna be real loud in Seattle next weekend for those guys. So they got to be ready to play, especially on the offense side of the ball. He said waiting over 50 years. So if you've been waiting 50 years, you can wait a little bit longer, man. If you wait 50 years, you can wait 3 more years, right? Um Lacey says we almost made the Falcon history within this team. We keep fighting, finish at the strong. Saints lost, Panthers lost today. Yeah, we're still in it. We're still in it. And be honest with you, the Bucks offense haven't looked that good. I wonder if Tom Brady wishing that he came out of retirement. So um, we got to believe, guys. It's just two weeks in. I still believe. Still believe. We got. I hope so. That'd be big. I hope him and Kyle's. I hope Kyle Pitts go off, man. I need to see Kyle Pitts go off. That's what I need to see. See, James. I'm like you, man. Been watching a long time, right? And still here. I'm be honest with you. Last weekend though, leaving that game, leaving the stadium against the Aints, I was asking myself why I'm a Falcon fan. I was so pissed off, Bruce. Well, when we don't build a team correctly, then 50 years is what you get. I like what's going on now. The future is bright, but here you have the Falcon fans complaining. Hey, you know, we had chances, even though Virgil saying that we didn't build a team right, but 2017, um, 2012, my bad, 2012, 2016, 2017, we actually had a chance to win those 3 years of lately. Of course, 98 went to the Super Bowl. So, even though the team wasn't built right, I think we had enough quality players. It still wasn't built right because you're right. Because think how a lot of those 3 years I'm talking about, in the teams, most of those teams were built with offense and they had defense in mind, so we couldn't sustain leads, right? But I think I agree with you. They are building this team the right way. It's painful to watch because we want to see it right now, but um, let these guys build it, man. You can see it, right? It's gonna take time to get the right pieces in. Once again, we got to remember that a lot of these guys on 1 year deals. You can look around the league; it's not a lot of players on teams that's out there 1 year deals. Majority of players on our team is set up like that because of our cap, the way our cap was set up. We had the biggest dead cap, so next year we'll be able to utilize these young guys that have the growth in, from the first 2 seasons, and then we could go out and get some free agents, and then our next year draft class as well. Um, we'll start to see some changes, hopefully, you know, but we just got to give these guys a time to try to build, their brand of football. Like I said, we want it now. I want it now. I'm with you 100%, but let these guys build this team and see what they can do, right? Draft picks usually don't hit for like the first 3 seasons. So, they just had their first draft last year. I like this year draft class. Let's see what these guys can do when they actually have some cap space to go out and get some free agents. See, can we bring some decent free agents in? Remember, Thomas Dimitrov never brought in good free agents um, during the time, right? Most of his free agents he brought in didn't pan out. So a lot of the best players were draftees. So we can actually go out, utilize these last two draft classes to, for improvement next year draft class and then some free agents. Let's see what this team look like um, going forward. We keep fighting. We can win the next two games. I agree. I think we can win the next two games, guys. I really do believe that. Um, the Seattle's gonna be tough, just like Virtue was saying, because on the road, home game, we need to come out again and be loud in the stadium. Like I said, we got to be able to, if we can neutralize, shut down Nick Chubb and and Kareem Hunt in the running game for the Browns. I know we're talking 2 weeks ahead, but if we can shut those guys down, I think we're gonna be all right. Or say our time is coming. I agree with you 100%. I do believe our time's coming. Yep, it's coming. It is. Birthday said, great show. Thanks, man. I mean, I want to say this to you guys. I'm glad you guys come in. All you Falcon fans come in, and like I said, this right here is a good thing for Falcons fans to get out here and talk it out and have what I call like a little therapy session, right? Because before when the Falcons lose, I used to let it dwell on me for like about until about Wednesday of the next week because I'd be so pissed off. But coming on here talking to you guys, listen to you guys critique what you thought what you singing in the game. We listening to each other, going back and forth, getting our opinion, what we thought. You know, at the end of the day, guys, I think we all still gonna be fans either way. But and we sad and we mad and we felt like we could be coaches out there and call the right plays and stuff like that. Um, we want to see why, because I really believe that we want to understand why Kyle Pitts not getting the ball, why you call this play, why you go for it on fourth down this week, why you go down to fourth down this week, and then you didn't go for it on fourth down last week, right? I know a lot of people was thinking that. I know a lot of people was thinking that um, we may drop 30 on Seattle if we stay focused on the fourth quarter. I agree. I mean, this offense has some weapons, man. Don't get it twisted. And it's hard to scheme for from a defensive standpoint, right? It is. It really is. Um that's pure bullshit, Virtual Jim. We have 28-3. He said we have not recovered yet. I don't know, man. We almost recovered today. We was down 28-3. I almost pulled it off. So don't don't lose hope. What's good, Recondo? Y'all gonna put it out. Yep. Once again, man. You're right, man. Wallace said we're gonna be all right. Bruce, thanks. See you next week. It was fun. Yeah, thanks, man. It was fun. Well, guys, like I said, like I really enjoy you guys coming on here, talking about talking about the team. Hopefully, one of these shows I do, we talk about the win. Like maybe next week, right? We come out here and I talk to you guys about how the Falcons went out and won the game, right? Instead of talking about what they did wrong, who to blame, who the scapegoat is this week. Is it Marcus Mariota? Is it Arthur Smith? Um, like I said, we have to take the last thing I'm gonna say about this game um, is that take all the things that you didn't like and put them on one side, and take all the good things that you saw, and you have to just weigh it that way because one thing we know from the positives stuff that we can grow on, things that we've been saying this year. it we didn't see some of this stuff last year. I mean, just to fight along about being down 31-10 and coming back, and like I said, with 2 minutes left in the game, we're down 6 on their 20-yard line. I mean, that's all you can ask for, from your team is to fight like that after being down 31-10, right? So that's the positive I'm gonna take away from it. Um, I thought we was out of it, but these guys kept fighting. Big play by Troy Anderson. Big play by Darren Hall. You know what I'm saying? All those plays we saw was just the positive you can take from it. We lost. At the end of the day, that's the results. But the results, you know, like I said, we gotta look at it from a micro level, right? Don't stop looking at it from a macro level. Looking at it from a macro level is that we lost, right? But from a micro level, this is a young team that's getting growing and getting better and better, right? End of the day, nobody thought the Falcons was gonna be good this year. So I'm not one of those guys. I thought we was gonna be pretty decent. I thought we was gonna come out and we was gonna compete every week. We have did that in the last 2 weeks. Remember, we played the Aints and the Rams, two pretty good NFC teams, right? So I think I think how we play next week against Seattle, a team that's kind of in our same realm, right? Um, that's kind of in a rebuild, kind of got a new quarterback, kind of got things like that, and how we play in that game, I kind of tell you where the Falcons at, right? After 3 weeks, so take these two games, two pretty good teams, got their chemistry built, their teams intact, no new faces all over the field, right? Um, and we played those two teams well, but next week's game against the Seahawks, let's see how we play. All right, another team sort of like the Atlanta Falcons got a new quarterback. Just traded their quarterback to a new team, in a rebuild mode, and let's see how we play against this team. That kind of give you an idea the progress we have made when we play the Seahawks. Wallace said, "Connor, don't let our team get upset because of the long season." Hey, like I said, being on here talking to you guys, man, I feel good right now. Usually, a loss takes me, like I said, to like Wednesday to get it out my system. Thank, thanks you too, Mark, for coming, man. See you guys next week. Um, I think I need to better play call on that last drive to win the game. Yeah, I mean the big play in that on that drive was that sack that Marcus Mariota got that made it 3rd and 13. That was, to me, that was the play that really killed that drive. And we knew what Arthur Smith was trying to do. He was trying to utilize as much clock as he could because, like I said, I felt like we was gonna actually score on that drive. It was gonna be up by one, and then we was gonna blow it. They was gonna come back down to kick a field goal. That's what I thought was gonna happen. I'm just be honest with you, because I seen that play out so many times with the Atlanta Falcons where we score and go up, and then we have like 90 minutes, 90 seconds on the clock, and they come down and win it. So that was the mindset I was thinking. But that second down sack on Mark Smarto to make it 3rd and 13, I think was what really killed us in that game. Yep, scoop and score, man. That's what you got to do. Scoop and score. Yusuke say some of y'all already turned on Marcus, and it's only week 2. Yeah, man. I'm telling you right now. If you looking at the chat and looking at social media, man, everybody already ready to see Des Murder get in this game. I, I'm not saying Des Murder need to get in the game. What I want to see Marcus Mariota get the ball to Kyle Pitts. That's just me. Like, you cannot have a guy, who almost broke the rookie tight end record in his first season and only have like 4 or 5 catches out of 2 games. Trust me, they're 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 scheming to stop Kyle Pitts, but I get it. I understand that. But he's not getting targeted. They took one shot down the field, and what happened with the one shot they took? He got a pass interference. You have to scheme him in the game. Like I just, to me, I would do that at least 3 times a game. Just take a shot with Kyle Pitts and see what happens. That's just what I would do. Oh yeah, Drake London, man. Drake London is that kid is good. He's really good, man. He's really good, man. He's really good. He said folks are not turned on to what they see. Yeah, you're right. I mean, like I said, but I guess Bruce, the question I'm asking you, what are you comparing Marcus Mariota to? Are you comparing him to Matt Ryan? Or what are you comparing him to? Because if you go look at Marcus Mariota, this is what he's been. This like I said, he's not one of those one of the most accurate quarterbacks ever to play the game. He's precision. He plays off schedule. He make plays. That's what he do. Um, I thought he made some great throws today. He had some bad throws too, right? He had some throws where um it was too high. He was off target on a couple of throws. But Patrick Mahomes had three balls on Thursday night that should have been intercepted, right? So I'm not comparing him to Patrick Mahomes, just saying that quarterbacks may have missed throws, and they're not going to be 100% accurate on each play. Um, I agree with you. Some look like sometimes he don't utilize his progression to go through. He takes off and run, get panics and things like that. But and I think he's trying not to make a mistake. You know how quarterbacks don't want to pull the trigger. That's what I see. Think more than anything, like he's scared to pull the trigger on some plays. But you gotta trust your eyes and let it go, man. Let it rip. That's what I think about Marcus Mariota. What I say, yeah, that was a killer when Mariota got sacked, and we don't. And see, Wallace, I think Wallace, you've been saying this since day one. We don't need to put Ritter in yet. I agree with you. I don't think it's time yet. Um, I actually, I actually been liking the way Marcus Mariota been playing, man. I really have. Um, it's exciting to see him move in the pocket and make plays. I just think they got to limit the mistakes, man. Those mistakes been killing us these last 2 weeks. That's just really what it boils down to. I mean, we get an interception with Casey Hayward. We get a pass interference, for Kyle Pitts, right? And then we turn the ball over and let them go back down and score. I mean, that sequence was killer for us because I think we would have went into the half at least putting up 3 points. At that point, I really believe that. But I mean, the fact that Cardell missed the ball. It was Cardell Patterson's fault. That interception was not Marcus Mariota's fault. That was Cardell Patterson tried to one hand it instead of going over two hands and catch the ball. But that's a play he makes all the time. So I'm not really, things happen. But that was a bad sequence, right? We get a turnover for Casey, get a pass interference call on Kyle Pitts, right? For Kyle Pitts. Then we right there, and we turn the ball over and let them get it back at the 1 yard line. I think that was a big sequence in the game. That wasn't Mariota's fault. That was just like they said, those mistakes, those things that killed us. The missed field goal on the first drive was big. That was real big for us. That missed field goal on the first drive was big. So, like I said, you got to look at the game and take it as a whole. Yes, Mariota don't made some bad throws, but it wasn't all his fault. Once again, we will find out because they're running him. So we will. Yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna see, man. We're gonna see. Like I wouldn't I won't lie to you that I'm not I'm kind of excited to see Desmond Ritter because I really believe I agree with you. I think he's a more precision, a more he a better passer than Marcus Mariota is. I really agree with that. I agree with you on that. But at this point, I don't think he's ready to go in there, guys. I think it'd be worse for us. I really do because I don't think he can command offense yet. And I know you guys saying, "Well, just put him in there to let him learn." But let's just pump your brakes and let's see what we can do with Marcus Mariota. If we go 0-5, 0-6, I'll be right along with you coming on here and be like, hey, yeah, it might well go ahead and get the rookie in and see what he can do. So at some point in time, we could have that conversation sometime this year, maybe. But this today is not that day. Not for me yet, anyway. Yeah, I mean, I get what you said. They're not used to London yet, but I mean, some guys just talented, man. Like Jefferson from Minnesota. Some of those guys just good. And I think Drake London is like that kind of guy. I think he's going to be able to get open and find his way open. I just think in the way he's being utilized, um, big body like that, the run after catch, his ability to break tackles and things like that. I think Drake is going to be an issue. It's going to get better, and I think we will win the next two games. That's what I'm talking about. Wise, me too. I feel, I agree with you. I feel the same. I think we're going 2-2. We get to 500 going into the books, right? Where their offense not playing that well. It's a division opponent. You never know what happened, man. We can end up being over 500 for the first time in since what I think it was like 2017, something like. It's been a while since we've been over 500. So um, we just got to see can we put some games together. Yeah, that Jefferson went off on us, not stopped yet. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, I mean, if you look at somebody like that, um, I mean, look at Mike Evans. I mean, they comparing Drake London to Mike Evans, but I actually think Drake London a little bit smooth. He's a little bit more smooth because he can. Drake London, he started his college career in the slot, right? And then they moved him on the outside, so he's able to play different positions. I mean, that's just the kind of kid he is. I think he's going to be good. I just think they have to start, having him and Kyle Pitts going off together in the same game. And if they can do that, then I think we might have a chance. Yeah, you looking at you looking at these first 2 weeks, man. I thought the Jets blew. I mean the Browns blew the game against the Jets. Um, the Ravens blew the game against the Dolphins. You're right, man. There's no easy wins this year. It's been pretty impressive what I seen. Like that's why I said the Falcons not out of it yet because of the way if you're looking at it, the way the season's going right now, teams how they're playing. I mean, you see how the Raiders just lost to the Cardinals after they had that game in hand. Yep, they only won by 4. And think about this, they only won by 4 and they was up 31-10. They only won by 4 and they was up 31-10. So just put in perspective with that. You are what your record is. Hey, we 0-2. We are 0-2. 100%. So that means that hey, we just as good as all the other 0-2 teams in the league. I agree with you. Here we go. Lorenzo, scoop and score, man. Scoop and score. Yeah, nobody has. Not yet, anyway. But I actually don't see a team on our schedule that just going to come out and just dominate us in and out. Like I said, I think the Rams are one of the toughest teams we're going to play this year. Looking at the schedule, I really do. That Chargers game is going to be pretty tough for us as well, with their weapons that they have. But I think every other game, we definitely gonna be in it. We're gonna be able to compete and we're gonna be able to fight and show what we're gonna be made of. So um we just have to see what games we can actually pull out. All right, guys. I think that's it for today. Um, I'll be coming back to probably tomorrow. I'm gonna do a video on just talk about the good and the bad of the game and what we need to do to get ready for Seattle. And then on Wednesday, I do another live talk about my keys, what it's going to take to actually win that game on Wednesday. So, guys, thanks. Like I said again, thank you guys for coming in. Actually, giving me this therapy today. I feel better and be ready to kick off the week and get ready. Like I said, get ready for the Seattle Seahawks and see if we can actually get our first win of the season. I hope these guys go in, look at the game film and some things they can actually get better on and see they, moving forward. So that's all we can do. 0-2, just like James said, we are what our record is. We 0-2. We got to get back to the drawing board, fix all mistakes, fix all miscues, and try not to dig ourselves in the hole. And what should be their mantra for this year is 60 minutes, right? Um, First game we played for like 45, 50 minutes, something like that. And this game we didn't start playing until the last 15 minutes of the game. So um, we got to start putting together a whole 60-minute game, and if we can do that, I think it's going to start to pay off for us. So, guys, that's all I have. Thank you guys for coming in. Let's go, Falcon. Rise up. See you next time. And this is your boy Ricondo coming back at you with another video. Peace.